akhir jalan. Pemeriksaan akhir jalan. Pemeriksaan akhir jalan.
Every country be like America. That is very, very wrong. You talk about it pushes drug, but when I went to internet to search, the result I got is that the drug they are talking about is just like 1% from Venezuela. How about Mexico, Colombia, all those countries? So what Trump is doing is not good. A sovereign nation, you should not invade it. You should not capture a sitting president and his wife, make them, they become I mean, in fact, it's so disgusting. Honestly, so disgusting. If this is what the policy of Trump is all about, please, Americans, next election, they should vote him out. Vote the Republicans out. Vote anyone that aids to this invention. It's not correct. This is a modern world. That your superpower does not give you right to take over another existing country. To take over another existing country in the name of democracy. Democracy are they practicing. When it favors them, democracy are they practicing. When it favors them, they allow it. They allow it. What is happening? What is happening in Nigeria? Is it okay? Why is the European Union in Nigeria? Is it okay? Why is the European Union and America not have intervened since 1993? Because it favors them. Their company are working here, drilling our oil, taking all our resources, and they call us third world country. That should be condemned. It is not ideal. So China should invade another country too, right? And if China does it now, it is still the same United States that
Pemeriksaan akhir. Jalan.
we call UN, and they threaten war. No empire lasts forever. That's what history says. No empire lasts forever. After all, there was a time Britain was controlling almost half of the world. Today, where is Britain? One day, the same America, another superpower will arise. But what they are doing right now, the invasion of Venezuela, I am not in support of it. Trump used to be my candidate. He used to be my guy. But this action, I reject and I condemn it. It's not acceptable. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, righteous man. It's not acceptable to him. Let me see. Let's go back to the people online. Mazapara, did you speak? I don't think so. Oh, you did? Okay. So, Oti, let me get Oti in. Oti, go ahead.
All right. Okay. Evening, everyone. Rudolph, you're giving everybody 4 minutes. I don't need 4 minutes. 2 minutes or 1.5. Really. For me, the pity is, most of the panelists that have spoken on this. I'm really the disappointment. I can't hide it, because the way they discuss this subject matter, with levity, is I think most of us just talk all night and on all sorts of subject matters. Really, do we have the understanding? I mean, the basics. That is really very. I don't know. Okay, now, Mr. Bobolo here, referring us to national security, whatever strategy. What use is that? What we're talking about is that this kind of, no lack of regard for international standard and norms. So any country, because you, in other words, you approve rule of force, power. Okay, if you have power, you have right. That is what there's no critical, critical mind, critical understanding of what is going on. Is it this something you approve? Is that the way to conduct international affairs?
We live in the West, so we approve of it.
You live in America, and probably I don't know.
We live in the West. We live in the West, so we approve of it. I don't know why you are accusing me.
Quite frankly, you live in the West, approve of it. So the West should go about all over the world. Invading countries, and you think it's a good thing? You live in the West.
You lost the right to tell them what to do.
It's just so that there are things we ought to take seriously. This is a serious matter. This is something that has happened, and it affects. It's a global. We live in a dangerous time, and then you're talking about this in a cavalier manner. Are you ever serious? Come on, it's just it's so regrettable. I don't know really.
I am your problem now.
He's still laughing. He doesn't get it.
So why you take me? Don't take me serious at your own risk. Don't do that.
Then you shouldn't be wasting our time coming here to talk. If you, I did
not invite you now. I didn't invite you. Am I the one that invite you? I came just the way you came. Why are you harassing me? Just have your say and go. Have your say and go.
So look, because the justification, whatever it is, we ought to have standards, not only in international affairs, also domestically, as well. You don't just do things because you have the power, we should have rules. Okay, we can't live in the world without rules. It's as simple as that. So Maduro, it doesn't. I'm not asking the question how well he's governed Venezuelans. So how about Nigeria? So we might as well welcome any foreign power to come and invade Nigeria because we don't like our president. What kind of?
I thought you did. Sorry, Dr. Mamitu. You did. You were celebrating.
Can you keep quiet? No, I'm not. No.
Last week, let's call ourselves out. When they strike the
that is something different. That's something different. You can't even. So look, let me tell you the difference. If you don't understand the difference, I will tell you. There's a category difference here. Okay. Now, if A strike, that's what you're referring to? Is okay, if you are referring to the strike, okay, but at least now Nigerian government, we have a government. It's not a strike against our government. It's not a strike against a legitimate government of Nigeria. Terrorism, okay? So there's no way you can compare this with invading a country. It shows, the lack of understanding. You can't even. We come here, we should learn and take things seriously. People are listening to us. Do you think I don't know? I'm sorry. Okay, that's fine. That's just my view.
Thank you so much. I see you, Paul. Tony, I don't know if you weighed in, but let me bring two Nigeria's last brain cell, and then I'll come back to the people who've been around for a while now. Go ahead.
How you doing, Rudolph? I wanted to start off on the way I really wanted to start off was bordering on probably it was going to be disrespect in the generalization I wanted to use for Nigerians. But I guess after listening to OT, Righteous Man, and Bumi, I have to say I'm really proud that there are still people, and even to an extent of Babolo, which I kind of understand where him, looking from a neutral aspect, I understand where himself and Oti are coming from. And I just have to say, yes, I'm actually proud of those three, the aforementioned, because there are still people, at least amongst our people, that will adhere to the rule of law, at least internationally. For me, it's astonishing when I hear people supporting this kind of egregious attitude where a president that is currently facing probably the sickest accusation of pedophilia the world has ever seen is currently now trying to paint and whitewash himself as this defender of democracy, even if it means bombing sovereign nations or taking out presidents of these nations. We are living in very dangerous times. For me, it's exciting being a student of history that, okay, this might be something I will speak to my grandkids and great-grandkids about, God willing. But I think we have to be very worried. Why I decided to come on, and as I was fixing up and I heard Bumi talking about it, was if we make America become the overall police of the world, who polices the police? And this is quoting her. And this was the main reason I came on. Now, if when we come on here, we have to make sure that we are fact-based. Like Oti said, people are listening. People are learning, and I hope we're all intending to learn from each other, because this is usually why I come on. Righteous Man said it. The drugs that Venezuela is being accused of, based on the CIA reports, at least in the last 15 years, Venezuela accounts for less than 3% of the cocaine importation into the United States. Most of their exports go to Europe and other parts of the world. Now you have a president now that is bombing ships, is bombing boats, taking oil tankers, complaining that Venezuela kicked out their multinational corporations. For whatever reason, Venezuela, as a sovereign nation, decided to do this. Oti says something very pertinent. It is imperative that people look to history and read. This is not a playbook we haven't seen America use before. If we have to speak about this hemisphere, America used the same playbook against Manuel Noriega. I think Mr. James already alluded to that. And it was the same cry and pointing fingers at Noriega, accusing him of being a drug importer, and they brought him to the United States, which he eventually got extradited to France, then died after serving his sentence. But then they won't tell you about Iran-Contra, which was also part of what they accused him of, which was America actually was backing the rebels in Nicaragua selling drugs for arms.
What are you watching? That's cool. But how about watching something that can help you become a top professional in your field? Add skills like data analysis, advanced Excel, and project management to your resume with courses taught by real-world experts. And you take them on your schedule. Build your career and your confidence. Go to udemy.com to learn more.
Who knows what they are doing behind the scenes with regards to Venezuela? So for those of you that are happy at America going to snatch a foreign president, I think you should be very worried. Rudolph, just last week, because like Oti also said, people are not seeing the bigger picture. I think this is the problem. The world is reshaping itself. And the elite and the powers that be are trying to put the pieces together however they deem fit. And I think the main thing they are going over or they are going for is more surveillance of the population. Just last week here, Shlomo Kramer, if anybody knows about Shlomo Kramer, well, feel free, if you don't, feel free to Google him, was all over the airwaves telling America we have to get rid of the First Amendment. Peter Thiel has alluded to this. Elon Musk and the rest of them, even though he portrays himself as a bastion of free speech, have come out and they said they have to stop curtailing the speech of ordinary individuals. Why didn't Russia help, you say? And I'm trying to jump over things because I heard the bell ring. Why didn't Russia and China help? They can't. Any help that would be given to Venezuela would only escalate the issue. And then what do we have? A conflagration? We have World War III.
So why are countries like Burkina Faso acting as if they have guarantee from Russia that Russia will help them in case they run into trouble with the West?
Well, what I think is, I think it'll be a different scenario in that if such was to happen, meaning they are probably banking on having native and tribal people back then, fighters in Africa. Yes. So one of the arguments we had on here was, would Venezuela put on a resistance or put up a resistance if America were to invade? And it was an argument that went on for days, different shows. And my premise was always that Venezuela, and sometimes I think you have to understand the nature of people and how they think. And I think when people talk about Venezuela fighting back against the United States, they think subconsciously of what is happening with the Arabs in the Middle East. And these ones are a different beast. And I say beast, not derogatorily. So again, different situations, different composition on the ground. I don't think America would attack Burkina Faso per se. Like,
so if they have any reason to go there and pick up Ibrahim Traore, you think they have a capability to stop them? Can they stop them? the Americans? If they can't stop them, why are they?
I don't think it's about they can't stop them. I think it's what would be the after effect if America was to attack Burkina Faso, for example. So if America was, this is why I brought up the tribal issue. You have to understand the composition of people. Let me just end with this. If for example, they attack Burkina Faso, the people of Burkina Faso are not just going to fall. Africans are not just going to fall. Muslims are not just going to fall. So it's a completely different animal you're going to be dealing with. You get what I'm saying? So the tribal affiliations are actually kind of different over there. And what would be the attitude of the people towards an invading force, especially the white man? I don't think America would have it easy anywhere in Africa were they to go into Burkina Faso, Niger, and was it Chad or Guinea or whatever? No.
All right, thank you. Otsi, did you weigh in?
Yeah, I've spoken. Yes.
He has no solution. He has no idea. And I complain. He can't complain. I mean,
okay.
complain.
So Paul, I think Paul.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not weighing.
Waste of weed. Like
Paul, go ahead. Ovia, can you let them speak? I will let you maybe conclude.
So, Doctor, I get confused with President Trump. When I say I get confused, I really get confused. The former president of Honduras, former president Juan Orlando Hernandez, was arrested not so long, 45 years in prison, based on drug trafficking. Trump pardoned him last month, December. And he's arresting another president for the same offense. Is it not funny? The same offense. The same America arrested Honduras president, the former president, Hernandez. You understand? But this same drug thing, how do we want to explain it? Everybody has been talking about this drug thing with Venezuela. What is killing America? Over 70,000 Americans die. It's fentanyl that is coming from China, passed through Mexico. And Venezuela is known more on cocaine. You understand? It's not really killing people. Cocaine is more for even the elite. You understand? So you get me confused. That is one aspect. The same Trump is having issues with Panama. He's having issues with Greenland. And you can also understand that Guyana and Venezuela is also having issues in the land dispute. There's a lot of oil there. That place is known for many years that is Venezuela. But somewhere suddenly Guyana started fighting for this same oil thing and every other thing. It get me confused. So land dispute with oil, you talk all those things. Look at state. My head is full. Doctor, help me. The state that the former Senate leader from Kentucky. Kentucky is doing very bad. Kentucky is a pure red state. The governor is a blue. It's a Democrat governor, Andy Bashir, and everything. They are going through a lot of challenge because of Trump and this thing sanctioned with Canada. Kentucky is known with their bourbon, their bourbon, and Canadians drink all these their liquors, whatever. Now Canada start taking all these things off the shelf and everything. What is Trump doing with that? Nothing. Please, we should grow up. These white people don't fight white people the way they fight other colors. So the way we are happy that he's dealing with one person, this same man that is fighting for Christian in Nigeria, the same man did not allow us say Christian to seek asylum. He put us on partial ban, not even get visa to come seek asylum. So we should be very, very careful. The way they fight white their own self is different from the way they fight brown and black. So we should understand these things very well before we be happy. Oh, America come and deal with Tinubu, come and deal with this. We should be very, very careful. The Venezuela thing, people should go back and go check. As of 2009, 2010, 11, 12, Venezuela is the fastest growing economy in the world. Venezuela is doing very, very well. It is the sanction and everything that make these people even want to do all this barbaric thing. Some of us should understand the level of crime that is going on in Nigeria today. It is because of no job. The way I understand crime growing up in Nigeria is different from what we see today. I didn't see my classmates who still in primary school, secondary school, in university. How come these people now have good jobs, started stealing in their place of work? Because the money that they are getting is not enough for them to take care of their family. You understand? People still, you know that it is in their DNA. But right now, it is different. So when you see Venezuela started flying all the way to places like Nicaragua, then they will trek from Nicaragua 3 more to America because their country is sanctioned. Nothing is going on there. So you should understand the proliferation of Venezuela started coming into America. It was not like that. It was not like that. It is because of the also sanction. You understand? So when we talk all these things, if these sanctions also hit us like the way they are doing, don't you think some of us will do the things that we don't want to do? Like my namesake will say in the Bible, Paul say, I saw myself doing the things that I don't want to do. Young people are doing crime. Back in the days when we started hearing this 419 thing, the girls are scared of dating 419 boys. But today, 419 guys are the MVPs in Nigeria. Everybody wants to date a Yahoo boy because that's where you survive. You understand? So we should be very, very careful the way US is going about it. And when you look at Democrat and Republican, their policies are far apart. So one country can also say what they are doing is not good. Then, Doctor, I like the way you put this Maduro and China and Russia. Yes, China and Russia. Yes, good. We understand these 3 great nations. These are the 3 most powerful nations in the world. They will not fight themselves. America is a little bit stronger than them because every countries of the world do business with America. Sanctions will come in and every other thing. These other countries don't really do those type of things. So that's why people are scared. America used their economic strength to punish nations of the world. And so these are the things. And how many days you can do with the Chinese and with the Russians compared to the way you can do this with other nations of the world? Because when America threatens other nations not to do business with you, that's when your economy crumbled. These are the things they even did with us. They did with very many countries in the world. So that's why many nations of the world are scared. But I don't think I support what Trump is doing. And he campaigned not to go to war. He campaigned against all those things. Trump campaign stand on America first. This is not American first. When you are fighting for the oil deals, when America started doing these things, this is where all our debt started coming after Clinton left. And the oil company is going to make more money, but America going to be in debt. We are spending billions of dollars fighting all this war. Even though if we win the war, if we achieve anything, the oil company is going to make money, but the average American is still going to suffer for it. America is in $38 trillion debt because of all this war. They're spending all their money. Where is America first? Where is the poor people started getting all the benefit? Doctor, 2 months ago, this same Trump stand up and say student loan, they can't even give people who study engineering, nursing. He said they are not professional jobs. That they can't get up to $20,000 for student loan. Nursing is not professional job by Trump's own word. Mechanical engineering is not professional job by Trump's own word. America is suffering. So even though we, the Americans, live in America, we are suffering from this. Then the people outside who think America is the sense that they can find, that they will come help your nation. I don't think so. They are not coming to help anybody. You understand? They are not coming to. These guys are just drunk with power and everything. So we should be very careful the way we support all this rhetoric and everything. Because some other people will pick it from us. And it's not helping the world. No, I disagree with what they're doing in Venezuela. They can find a better way to do it. But using this method and everything, it's not going to help Venezuela. Guess what you see within some months to come now? Then you see Guyana will start springing up again. Another land dispute, another problem. America is taking over that channel and everything. And if you achieve it, if God gives Trump more energy, he will face place like Panama. He's still revisiting the Greenland issue. He said it about 3 weeks ago. We are not in peace. You understand? He's threatening Europe because of the social media, the Facebook, the type of sanctions that they want to put around this social media in Europe is threatening them. No, I don't think it makes the world a better place. And I don't think this is what the average Americans want. No, the average Americans don't want this. It's just these power-drunk leaders that is doing all this barbaric thing, all this shenanigans. This is not an American policy. I will say it anytime, any day. That's my take.
All right, thank you, thank you, KJ. I will actually let you take over, and you can. One of the things I would like you to do is to do what is it called?
Okay, if you allow me to make my comment, because when I take over, I can't make a comment again.
Okay, you make your comment. I will let you make a comment. Okay, but yeah, go ahead.
All right, you see, what you see happening right now is the fact that the played have become the player, and I like some of us. There is a British woman who used to be in the parliament who discusses this at a very high level, and I want some of us to go look at that interview. What I've been trying to do is to search for her, because she dissected the issue very openly. Paul. She said what has happened is that what the plan they had. The only thing that happened is that a bigger person or somebody who is more of a bully has taken over the plan they had and is playing it against them. That's what Trump is doing. They had this plan all coming, but somebody just pounced on it. I will look for her. In fact, before this finish, I will hold a meeting on that and I'll play what she said, so all of us can be able to come to understand where this man is coming from. These were things they put in the pipeline. They were trying to secretly bring it. And somebody who had just outsmarted them to take it over and turn it around and playing all of them. And that's why they're all going crazy. However, some of us on this channel said when Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped from Kenya and brought to Nigeria, that Nigeria should have the international rules should not, shouldn't stop Nigeria from carrying what they want to do. Bom Bom Ray was one of those who said so. He said that, look, if Nigerian courts are not bound to obey international law. That's what he said. So if they are not bound now, why are we crying? You see, let's learn to be on one side. If you want us to accept international law, the ECOWAS court ruled that Nnamdi Kanu should be released and pay compensation. Nigeria didn't accept it. The Nigerian court ruled. Nigeria didn't accept it. The Kenyan court.
I'm sorry, but you cannot use negative issue as a precedent. That would not help any one of us.
God, please allow me to finish his talk.
Hold on,
please.
You see, these are international laws that have been breached by the Nigerian country, and you Nigerians said it is not. The Nigerian country is not bound by those laws, but we now say somebody else have done the same thing. We say, oh, that person is the evil person. No. We are on the same page. Because once you turn one evil, you overlook one, you don't know how far it's going to go. Now, hold on. I'm still talking on Nigeria, so that we all get it correctly. Your president sat in Abuja and sent planes to go and overtake, the people doing coup in Benin Republic, and took over the country and reinstated the person they are trying to take out of the country, even though the people of the country wanted that man gone. And we said it was right. Something was going to go wrong. In fact, he shouldn't have contacted anybody. He should have done that. That was right. What is different now from what Trump has done? Nothing. So let us be factual. Let us examine what we are backing, because tomorrow it can just be us. When the thing was going on in Libya, majority of the Nigerian journalists said this is going to backfire. Jonathan, guard our sovereign, our northern borders. People told him, no, don't worry. The small arms not coming to Nigeria. Nothing will happen. And he took those advice. Today, those some people got whatever they got and moved into Nigeria to come up and carry out the operation. So what are we saying here? What am I trying to say in essence, Paul? Not I'm blaming you. I'm simply saying that, you see, when one person decides to not obey the law, every other thing comes like a rushing, flood. And it's going to be, nobody knows where it's going to stop. As for international politics and America being the watchdog, now today in secondary school we wrote essays on that. America being a watchdog of the world. Who is watching the watchdog? Who is it today? It's not only a Republican. It's not only Trump that have done that. Almost every other American president have done the same thing. So what is new? All right. Simply, what we are saying is that you know, if you know how to play your game, when you see that you have a neighbor who you cannot overpower, you become friends with him. Igbos have a proverb that when fight, you know, when you fight somebody, when don't pass you with power, you go turn on to play, say, oh boy, take it easy now. I know it's so supposed to be. You bring it to a point where you can now have a negotiation with that individual so that you can live your life and your people live in peace because you can't take him down. That's what I expect people who are, you know, who are coming in to say. If, just like we said, we discussed this thing on this channel before we got to this point. We said if at least I said that if I was him, I would quickly run and begin to make a peace. And this was just like the lady in Mexico did. She was very smart, and she laid out her cards and played it well. And today they have looked somewhere else. You could have done that too, Mr. Maduro. Even though I don't like you, I don't like him, I don't like his policy, I don't like what he's doing to Venezuela. But it's not for me to decide who should rule them. I thought he would have been more clever on how to go about things. Thank you.
Thank you, KJ.
Rudolph, please 1 minute if you permit me.
Hold on. I want to hear Stay Humble. I have to really go.
Well, fathers, I mean,
No, I just want to
Doctor, you have not allowed me.
just 1 minute if you let me.
Every other person has spoken.
Oh, Tony, I called you. You didn't say anything. I thought you spoke.
No, you didn't call me. You called.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No,
All right.
you did call.
I don't know anymore.
No, you mistakenly called Paul. You didn't call Tony.
I'm not feeling very well, so I can't coordinate well. Okay. What we're going to do is I would just want to hear Tony's view on this. Stay humble, and that's it. Is there any forefathers? And then I'll have to go. I'll hand it over to KJ, and then I have to go. I want you guys to do the rant. It's very important. A lot of people enjoy this when they see me. They say that. Okay, Tony, go ahead.
Thank you, Doctor. I think that we are not taking into consideration the fact that every nation has a right to protect its interest, particularly when such interests are threatened. I put that quote unquote. First of all, we know that Trump is a disruptor. There are four things that I see in this issue concerning the invasion of Venezuela and the ouster of Maduro. One is political hegemony. Two is influence. Three is national security. And four is national interest. Now, if you look at Venezuela, one of the deadliest gangs that you have, Tren de Aragua, come from Venezuela, and they had invaded parts of the United States, killing, maiming, and doing all kinds of untoward things. And the American government, had, kind of proscribed that gang. And a lot of them have been arrested and deported. They are notorious in parts of the United States for, all kinds of things. Venezuela also had been sanctioned by America. And even countries who associate with Venezuela, like China, Russia, and so on, have also been sanctioned by America. And so many other things that the American government feel about the government. So when you have a country that you see has been unfriendly to the United States, then you would expect that when you have a regime, a personality like Trump, like I said, who is a disruptor, that country is not going to go scot-free because it's perceived as an unfriendly nation to the United States. Now you have a question of the influence. There is an increasing domineering influence of China, of Russia, and there's also the threat of Iran. All who belong to the same axis of evil, as Americans would call it. So these are threats positioned to harm America. there's also, a question of national interest. I mean, economic interest, which Trump spoke about, which has to do with oil. That American companies are fast losing, contracts and all the like from business in Venezuela, and being taken by a competitor that is China. So these are some of the underlying things. And the fact that America would not, as a country, stay where its influence in that area is winning, because Venezuela has been fingered as one country that is being used to influence all the other neighboring countries in Latin America. There are issues of drugs, there are issues of narcotics, and so on and so forth. So if you look at the totality of what we have here, when a country feels that its interest is threatened, it's going to say perhaps to hell with international conventions and so on and so forth. And Nigeria wanted to do it against Niger. Nigeria has done it in Gambia. Nigeria has gone bullying small countries, bully Gambia, bully Ivory Coast, go to Benin, as people have said, even though it's at the invitation of the president, but we know that it's not the president, the outside president, who did that. It was France, that was, behind all this, because they also want to protect their interests. So the point I'm trying to make is, in the history of every nation, when you find that your national interest is being threatened, Russia did it against Ukraine. So when you find that your national interest or your security is being threatened, then usually people will say to hell with international convention, particularly when you have the money, and you go and and do whatever you want to do, and then you can go back to the UN or whatever and settle whatever it is. So my point is, if you are not an American and you don't feel, you can say some of the things you are saying, but if you are an American and you see that you have an enemy or a perceived enemy, and you see that all through that country is pursuing an interest that is inimical to yours as a nation, as a sovereign nation. This is international politics. You crush that country, and you've run it. So it's not new. It's not novel. It's something that's been happening, and Trump is not the first person doing that. We've had George Bush do it. We have had history accounts of all these things in the past, and not just America. So I think that in trying to analyze this thing, it depends on what point of view, where you are coming from. And so you can demonize America, but if it happens to you, if you have a situation where you feel threatened, even in our various normal lives as individuals, our business and so on and so forth, we see Dangote feels that Boa is threatening, his business, or what is eBay and so on and so forth. Yeah, I think they do. This is strictly capitalist system. That's how they operate. That's how capitalism operates. It's not going to sit down there and wait for Venezuela to harm the US before. If you are ganging up against America, you are an enemy. You are in breach. You are ganging up. You are trying, pushing this dollarization thing and so on. America is going to spot you, and you're not going to be a friend. So these are some of the issues, and I think that in trying to analyze and dissect Americans' behavior, even though it may look bad, the optics, well, I think you also have to understand that countries sometimes take decisions that may appear rash, so long as it satisfies their own interests and keeps them secure and keeps its people secure. That's my position. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Tony. I really have stay humble.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah. Depending on where you are. I think those in the US will not appreciate this salutation. So I wasn't intent on coming on, but sometimes some people will just force me to come up when I listen to some things, and I feel very grieved in my spirit, and I want to just come up to challenge some of them. Before I go ahead, one thing that I just want to mention, when Tony was speaking, he mentioned that Nigeria bullied a number of countries. He mentioned Gambia. The 2016 intervention in Gambia wasn't a bullying. because in Gambia, Yahya Jammeh, who wanted to become a life president, he was even president when I was in primary school, that we were learning all those current affairs and stuff. And when I graduated in 2015, he was still the president of the Gambia. And then the parties in Gambia, the opposition parties in Gambia, they came together and formed a coalition. And Barrow became the leader of the coalition. He contested the election and defeated Yahya Jammeh. He scored 220,000 votes, while Jammeh scored 200,000 votes. Jammeh congratulated him initially, but later his sycophants wouldn't want him to leave power, so he held on to power. So the West African neighbors had to intervene. So that was not a bullying affair. Jammeh had to leave because he wasn't legitimate. Okay, so back to Maduro, because I've had some arguments and reasonings regarding all these things. So there are so many people listening to us, and when they're listening to us for these 2, 3, 4, 5 hours that we stay here, they're trying to get the point. Who is Maduro? Maduro, is not the legitimate president of Venezuela. So we need to establish that Maduro's stay was not legitimate. He lost out. He was not the legitimate president of Venezuela. And more than 7 million people even fled Venezuela because of his persecution and high-handedness. So he wasn't legitimate. He was staying on borrowed time. So for those saying that they breached the sovereignty of Venezuela, I don't know where you're getting that from. I don't know the connection also between what happened in Venezuela and Burkina Faso. I don't know why some people are mentioning that Trump will go to Burkina Faso. Trump, he doesn't have any business in Burkina Faso. I don't think there's any conflict between the United States and Burkina Faso. So we should try to stick to the issues. Yeah. And then somebody mentioned that Trump was fighting for Christians in Nigeria and then denied the same Christians visa. Look, we should make these conversations, even if not intellectual, but sensible. So there is no connection between the Christian genocide, between Trump protecting Christians in Nigeria and denial of visa for Nigerians. Look, if you are a country that wants to be organized, if you're decent, you want people coming to your country to be verified. If you have a certain Issa Pantami, who was still known to be, a Boko Haram sympathizer, being the Minister for Communication and dealing with the data of Nigeria, you wouldn't want people who are not properly verified to come into your country, because while you might have 90% of immigrants, genuine, 5 to 10% of so-called terrorists, etc., may sneak in through the same route. So he wants us to address certain issues in our data system, which will be beneficial to Nigeria and also to the United States before the visa denial this thing will be lifted. I just wanted to mention those few things, really.
All right, thank you.
Doctor, you want to point out the...
I like the way you put it, that they vet the white South Africans to come, but they can't get their information right to know that they are not killing white South Africans. Like he said, they are killing hundreds and thousands of white South Africans. They can get that information wrong, but they can know how to vet the real white South Africans to fast track their citizenship in America. but they can't even pity the Nigerians Christians that are dying. Oh no! The former minister of communication
He doesn't.
is corrupt.
He doesn't need.
I like that. I like that
We
style.
just need to get our acts right, because 90%.
How come America didn't get their information right that they are not killing white South Africans before they are bringing South Africans in?
Doctor, I want you to point out the correlation between visa ban and Christian genocide for him.
Forefathers, you're next.
Greetings, Dr. Damages. Thank you for having me. And greetings all the panelists, the chat, and the viewers. It's good to see you here, Bumi, and all these for people all around. But it's all right. Regarding this thing, basically it's a mini invasion, isn't it? Taking Moduro. I don't know what Moduro was thinking, sitting around and waiting for people to come and take him. Maybe he doesn't care. He just feels like, and America has got a case on his hands now, because you have to prove that he's a drug baron. And how is it that somebody that has one of the largest oil reserve in the world, you accuse him of being a drug baron? That would be interesting to see whether the American justice system is still going to crack under the weight of that one. Except, of course, there's no justice. That said, you see, we know this has been the case. Actually, I knew anyway. Most people think that the world is ruled by order. It's always been ruled by power. And it's always been like that. And this is why your countries are not doing well. And all this stuff we are seeing now is why I supported Trump to come into office. So he can start revealing all these things to you all. He doesn't hide it. People like Clinton, they will pretend as if they are not doing it. But Biden, was he not in office when the Haitian president was murdered? And the people that came and murdered him, they came in through the pretense of being DLA, that's drug law enforcement of this thing of the US. Can you imagine? You want to come to the president's house to come and arrest somebody because you are
DEA.
Yeah, you're right. DEA. I thought DLA wasn't right. Yeah, so they want to come and arrest him for this thing, drug offenses, a president. And they let them in, and not one guard got injured, and he was murdered brutally. Till today, Haiti has not recovered from that tragedy. This is what America does. It's always been like that. You leave yourself vulnerable, you suffer. As a matter of fact, Maduro was telling them, come, let's talk peace. He was singing, he was playing the song of, what was it? Was it
John Legend?
John Legend. Yeah. Imagine all the people, come on, let's come and do peace. And this is what you get. Keep playing that game and thinking that your enemy is going to fall and die. They won't. The only people that understood this are the Asians, and they don't play. You saw what North Korea did. Is anybody bothering North Korea now? I think North Korea say, come for me, please. We need some of all this smoke. No, we don't need it. But all the ones that try to do peace with them, they punish them. And Iran may get punished severely because of that their hippie fatwa leader that they have that went apart a fatwa that they should not go nuclear. They may pay for it. Because this world punishes weakness. You like it or not. I don't know what, some people are beginning to ask, what is wrong with that Iranian leader? Because you are endangering your country if you don't defend it. In other words, you are saying foreigners that have the power should decide your fate. That is what is going to happen since you elected to do that. And as it applies to us, when you see some of people advocating, oh, Trump is right to attack and Trump is not right to attack. You see, what I see within our people is that they can't even do simple arithmetics of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. We can't, even within our own country, we can't realize that the foreigners are our enemy. We can't even do that. Because when they went for that Berlin conference, they declared war on all Africans. What do you think that meant? It was all our enmity with all Africans because they wanted to colonize all Africa. They declared enmity with us, but we couldn't even do that calculation then, and we can't do it now. That is us. We are experts at doing that. Maybe even South Americans are also doing the same. And that is their superpower. That is the European superpower. They know when to fight each other and they know when to come together. No matter what Trump has done now is against international law. You see how they are all forgiving. Oh no, we always thought the Maduro president wasn't right. But he has just been removed. He won the election with 52% of the votes. Egypt wins with 90% of the vote. Kagame wins with 90% of the vote. Many American allies win with 90% of the vote. Since when do you care about democracy? Trump openly talks about how he wants to go and take their oil from them because he took some back from. They just want free oil. They don't even want to pay for anything. And they don't want you to trade the oil in another currency. In other words, they want you to be dependent while they don't enable you to develop. And this is the strange dynamics. Why do you want to be a superpower in the world when you want everybody else to be suffering? What kind of superpower is that? You just want other people to be suffering while only you enjoy. That is the key question, because if you look at the reason why the West is now working with Japan, Taiwan, and South Korea, is because they are useful. Otherwise, if you look at their relationship, if you are not useful to them, they are going to impoverish you. It's only when you are useful to them, they need to keep you afloat. That's when they keep you afloat. Otherwise, they will impoverish you. Why can't you just have allies that you all enjoy, as long as they are not a military threat to you? Why can't you just do that? But they can't do that because to them it's a zero-sum game. If you have a life, they don't have a life. They have to eat you up. That when I speak to Americans, I say you guys need war counseling because your head, something is wrong with the way people think. Because the way you approach the geopolitics is a zero-sum game. You have to make sure anybody that is not useful to you is poor and suffering. Just because they are not, even when they are not your enemies, you don't even want them to do. Otherwise, Africa will be doing fine. Africa is not their friend. Africa is not their enemy. Most Africans are their friends. Look at the KJ. KJ is ready to die for Trump. Look, many of us, some of us have children in the American military. They will die for Trump. But yet, look at your countries, how they treat them like dirt. So, what I would say about people is that do your simple maths. These people have declared war on you before. The war they declared on you is still a war today, and it doesn't change at all. If you think these guys are your friends, man, you are just going to repeat history. And I hope the ones that can see clearly don't allow that to happen. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Doctor, there is no correlation between visa ban and Christian genocide.
Rudolph, I asked you for a minute earlier.
And then Jonathan.
Thank you very much. Before I even get to where I was going to go, thank God, forefathers, finally you're seeing that America is putting Africa down so that it can enjoy its resources, because your statement of what kind of superpower impoverishes everyone else astonished me, seeing as we've argued about this before. I just want to touch on what KJ said, and because he did mention me and he did allude to me, albeit wrongfully. Now, when he said that, someone like myself has said, well, Nnamdi Kanu's extradition or extraordinary rendition was proper under international law. Actually, that wasn't what I said. What I said was, under American law, it wasn't aboard. And I've given cases. I've mentioned U.S. versus Toscanino, U.S. versus Waters. Now, that said, Maduro still has the option, when he's charged in the Southern District of New York, to challenge his capture and the way he was brought before the courts. As opposed to Nnamdi Kanu, Maduro was not a fugitive. I'll make due to say that whenever he's put before a district judge or a magistrate or a district judge, the position of the court will still be the same. The way you were brought before the court does not matter. Now, maybe he might be able to challenge the fact and say, well, I wasn't a fugitive. Then maybe the United States might say, well, you were an unindicted fugitive, we already had a complaint against you, or we had an unsealed indictment against you. We don't know. But I would wager a bet to say if Maduro was presented before the court today in New York, and he challenges the way he was brought before the court for his arraignment, I think he would fail if we were to go based on precedents. And this is also the position of the courts in Nigeria. So bringing up ECOWAS and bringing up, nobody cares about ECOWAS. It has no bearing on Nigerian law, but that was just, again, what I wanted to bring to the audience.
All right, thank you. To Nigeria's last friend.
And I'm sorry, and Maduro actually supports the poor people of his country more than the rich. And many Nigerians that like to say that, oh, you want chivalry to support the poor, you are now, because you are supporting Trump now, you are basically supporting somebody that is against chivalry, basically. That's what you are supporting.
Okay,
right,
sorry. Rudolph, just for the purpose of history and when people look back on the social media, forefather, you keep saying this concerning me and Trump. I don't know why you get that, but again, I want to disabuse your mind. I come here to analyze what issue as I see them. I've never told you in any way that I support Trump or what he's doing. I've never said that. I analyze the issues. If you like,
you've actually said that.
Please. I hate that. You don't put words in my mouth. My head is set. I cannot shave my head in my presence without my permission. I beg you.
I've never seen anything Trump did that he didn't support. That's why.
If he does the things I think they are right, and I start to say these things are the way it should be, does that mean that I support him? Does that mean I'm voting for him? Does that mean I would die for him? What is wrong with you?
No, the point I'm making is that you support him, and just like many Nigerians support him. Nigerians is the country that is support Trump.
Why don't you just speak for yourself and just remain at that?
Come on, man. You don't need to be apologetic.
All right, guys.
It's not even controversial. Like,
he's a bigger.
All right, guys. Please, I have to go. Let me just hear Janaba. Janaba, Happy New Year to you, and you'll be the last person that will speak before I leave. Thank you so much for joining us.
Happy New Year, Rudy and fellow panelists. You change your glasses often as Trump does. It looks nice on you. I think all the happening around the world is just a distraction from the main thing that is happening. So,
what is the main thing?
You don't know what is going on in Washington and all that. So I'm not a citizen yet. I don't want them to come and take me. She has to. When the politicians and the power are the most powerful, whatever they are doing and they are covering, they make sure that it's big enough to cover their whatever they are trying to cover. So I don't think anybody should be naive about that. So we have more problem why we are still sitting here as a Nigerian that firefighter cannot quench fire in Balogu market. Our citizens are still dying. 3 brothers died in that fire, the same mother, and the firefighters, when they even came to the scene, they were even asking for permission from the authority. So those are the things that bothers me, that in as much as we believe that our leadership have been ineffective, but you wonder what is most important to us. People in Nigeria cannot provide the basic need for their people. What's wrong with us? Those are the things that concerns me more, because very soon we will not even have a country.
we will not have black people on the surface of the earth again. They are not different from the one that they get born in Nachis and they sew their body. Yeah, we are not just different. If they bomb your house now, you turn to somebody like that. So we should be worried about that and worry about what is working, what is not working, what is this, how do we start the grassroots of governance. That is more important. Venezuela, these are the fight of money and oil and to cover up. So I just saw you guys, and I don't want to say much because my village is very far from here. I don't want to live there for now until I finish my projects.
All right. Thank you, Janaba. Thank you so much. I have to take my leave. Thank you, everybody who joined me. I'll hand it over to KJ so that he can run the.
Just rant for us, maybe they go.
The rant. Yeah. KJ, we do that. But I have to go. I see Vahala and Jagun back end. KJ, you can give them a chance to weigh in on the topic, and then you can do the rant. But it's up to you. Okay, those that supported us, KJ, you mentioned their names at the end. I'm sorry, guys. I have to go for now. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week. Thank you. All right.
Okay. Thank you. The button has changed. Parade don't change, and no more. You understand what I'm saying? I put it to all of you that from now going forward, the parade don't change. So let's move very quick. And I'm just gonna bring in Mr. Jagun. I think he's first. Yeah, I saw Jagun first before. Voila. So let's get you in and hear your opinion on what has been going on. Yes, sir, Jagun.
Thank you very much, KJ. I would like to thank Dr. Damages as well for his presence, even though he's under the weather. I would also like to thank the panel. Much like has been said, as I was listening to everybody, including yourself, I was becoming a bit perplexed because I felt, am I thinking wrongly about the whole scenario, the whole situation? Up until one or two people spoke and I was able to come to an equilibrium on my own point of view. The way the world is now, I've come into this just expecting turbulence for the whole year, big changes, things that come closer to my understanding of where it is that we're going. And the journey there is not going to be nice. It's not going to be. It formed Nigeria. Very strong. Look at it. This guy and his friends died coming to the end of the year. I have home bad news. And then wake up this morning to hear and see the bombing of Venezuela and the kidnapping of the president and his wife. Wow. We all better get ready. And I think we're going to get ready for things that we're not ready for. Because as much as we want to support any politician in this world, none of them deserve support. And most especially Trump. Trump is a roving, crazy man. We were warned, actually, quite seriously by people like BBR, who said that as much as this woman is not the best, Trump would be even worse. And I didn't know how to look at that from where I am. But I know Trump's a nutcase, but we wait and watch. And as we wait and watch, this is a Trump that I've known Trump for an awfully long time, since the 80s, 70s even. And I've always known a strange fellow. But now, this is the worst I've ever seen any human being behave. The level of bullying and effrontery as it is. And I don't know how you can go into another man's land and take over the presidency and people are supporting this kind of action. It means that you don't love yourself, the way I'm looking at it. The way I'm looking at it, is it because you guys are in America that you have to become American? Do you have to become American? Can you no longer, I don't want to pour poison and say, can you no longer think? But our American man who is normally around, what's his name? Kenny. Sometimes I listen to him and I think his mind's just been taken over, or he never really had one. Because the way that guy is a different level. It's a different level. I've never seen somebody up at the arse of a president that has nothing for him. It irritates my own intelligence. And I have to check myself. Are you thinking right yourself? Are you thinking right? I mean, maybe these people have a point. But to me, you have no point. And things are going to become progressively worse as you're putting your mouth in areas that don't even belong to you. I'm seeing
Can I ask you a question before you continue? First and foremost, you know of a president called Noriega? You know Noriega?
Yes,
okay. And you also know a president called the president of Libya. What's his name? The former president of Libya? Gaddafi. Was it the same thing that happened to Maduro that happened to those two? Would you say? So. Was it Trump that did that?
I believe so.
So you then why?
Wait. Let me entertain this spot. You know, as I've said on this channel many times, South America and Africa as a whole are the aim of any country in the world right now because of their still untapped wealth. What is running up and down for at the minute? South America is 6% of the world's lithium. If the gold in South America uncovered is an option. I know we don't like to think that these people are looking for resources, but that's how the world is being run. The oil in South America and the Caribbean right now, bro, we don't seem to understand that this playbook, as has been said, has happened time and time and time again. Yet we still don't learn. We don't think. We just champion in America. Why? Why in America? If you are a so-called Christian or a Muslim, I suppose, I believe again, it's in your book that these things are going to take place. Yet you are following the devil and you think you're following God. You're a nutcase. You're upside down in all your thinking. You're completely upside down. You have no faith. I have no faith. I'm not comparing myself faith-wise with anyone. I would love to have a lot more faith. But I do read these texts and they do inform me. And they inform me to the point that, not that I predict the future, but I've seen what is written take place. So I have to wonder about these texts and how real they are and who wrote them and how they come about. And then I watch the play of the Western world and I see, man, these people are behaving in the most filthy, disgusting, unfair way in such blatant fashion. Look at Ukraine and Russia. The West was just all against Russia. Not even reading anything to suggest that this may be a two-sided affair. In fact, maybe it's a one-sided affair on the other side. At the same time as that was happening, they were killing out the Palestinians anyhow for 2.5 years. We all watched on television. No. Watching that on television for me was letting me know that we as people have no power. At this moment, we have no power. Power is being stripped from the common man as we speak. As we speak.
Okay. Can you
I'll come to a quick end. I don't understand countries like Nigeria and their leadership and Nigerian people. I think we are. I think we don't really understand the world that we're living in. And I give a lot of kudos to Nigerian intelligence, that we are intelligent, strong, cultured people and all the rest of it. But I can see Nigeria breaking up into a million pieces because none of us are together. None of us are together. Within the same household, don't worry about tribe. Within the same household, we're not together. So when we're not together, when we don't form community, when we don't perform our culture to the rest of the world in the way we should, and strike an understanding and balance politically and economically, we're lost. We are lost. The only game we are playing is a game of desperation. And when we see a nation, a sovereign, legitimate government being overthrown within 24 hours and less, I don't believe that we are thinking people. We can watch this and allow it to happen and be in support. Being supportive. I've been listening for a long time in order to even reconstruct my mind. So I'm saying what I'm saying now. Because I was a bit perplexed. I can't lie. I was listening to everybody and you guys were perplexing me. The way you were thinking. So,
all right.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Let me leave it there.
Thank you so much. You see, the issue with how people think, and everybody have their own view. You might agree, but as long as you can listen, it's good. And we all exchange ideas. We may not agree. You may not agree with me, but we are, at the end of the day, we are making conversation. I still have Vela behind. I can see you. Please, as soon as I get an opportunity, I'll bring you in. We're going to go into the rant so that you can rant, and that rant is going to be okay. So I give everybody a fair, good time to rant. Let us rant for, you have like 3 minutes each person to do your rant. The guy behind the backstage, I'll bring you in and I'll give you 5 minutes because you have to rant, and then I'll add more time for you to do that. So I can also air your view on what you think. Let me start from
Bring him in. I'll sacrifice my space. Bring him in. Okay. You can bring me back in. I'll be back.
Okay. Thank you so much for a good guy, really. Just that we don't agree sometimes, All right. Thank you so much, and you are welcome, bro. Can you just give us your view? I'm sure you'll be listening behind the stage.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you very clear.
Yes, I want to thank the brother that gave me his space to come on. That's so gentlemanly of you. Thank you very much. Ever since this thing happened, wow, today it's been a long time that I've had so many arguments back to back. I now clearly believe that there is some kind of virus that is that has infected the brains of our people. Well, let me just say this. I know it's going to be people's mind are made up, and I've seen brainwashing work in real time because I've seen people who woke up and called themselves terrorists and killed their parents, siblings, Boko Haram, essentially. Like, I know what brainwashing can do. And this was just a brainwashing that happened between 2-3 years. Imagine a brainwashing that's the only socialization process, and that's the only movies you watch, just the books you read, the societies you cherish, everything about you is these people that you speak their language, you eat the food, So brainwashing, but my own ranting, my brothers and sisters, I just ask you to slow down your emotions and and maybe just speed up your thinking, because you see, this moment, this is a moment for clarity, and it's not a moment for comfort. What we are witnessing in the world today, it brings a lot of confusion, but the reality is that it is revelation. Me and Ovie sat down a day before yesterday. Ovie, you remember? So it kept coming back to me like, can you imagine?
Yeah, I was 3 days ago.
Yeah. So when the sitting president can be seized and removed in the open, not in secrecy, not in shame, but with justification and applause from quarters of people who are in the same predicament, whose societies, whose family members could suffer. You look at what happened to Gaza, and when Arabs, close ranks as a race and try to defend their people. Imagine if we're black children. Is this what you guys are telling me you're going to do? You're just going to allow them to genocide black kids? Oh, well, you never stood up for, black people before, maybe in your lives. Maybe you've never stood up for something. But you'll stand up for Christianity, but you'll not stand up for a fellow black man. Oh, my God. So we get justification and applause from you guys. Then I wonder, oh, no wonder the world is the way it is. No wonder what you were telling me the day before yesterday, no wonder it is true. I now believe some of the things that you said. Because, power has now pretended to be, stop pretending to be polite. It's just like the jungle, the strong always dominates the weak. So at least before we can think, even though some of us knew that there is a veil, this gangster that is in the White House right now has now made it so easy. This is a message he is sending to you, and he's telling you you are fair game. He can kill you, he can eliminate your family, finish your race, your history, and you are happy clapping. Is this how you want to go down? No, I want to go down fighting. So the cowards die many times before their death. The valiant man dies but once. I'm rephrasing what Shakespeare wrote. From all the wonders he yet have heard, it seems to him most strange that men will still fear that death, a great and necessary end, will come when it will. Why are you afraid of death while you will die? What is it? What is the joy to seeing say you are Sultan of Sokoto will burn down if after the two-way chop Sultan of Sokoto will come chop you to then what is just that momentary pleasure that you have? Is that good enough for you? Is that what you are telling me? Is the African mind really that's how big you can think? That's how deep you can think? Well, the danger before us is not like tanks will roll over inside Nigeria, and take our leaders like they did with this guy. No. The danger is our minds. This way you guys have been talking, that's the danger. It's a real danger because and the Nigerians must be careful because they will not overthrow Tinubu. They will just overstimulate all of us with our biases. That's what they need to do. They'll push religion against religion, tribe against tribe. They will provoke outrage until outrage becomes habit. They will whisper until shouting replaces thinking. And when the nation is exhausted, at that time, when all of us have finished and are exhausted, now that time they go strike. Now that time they go enter. You don't see DRC. When I know they take lesson, when I know they hear. Don't you guys watch and analyze, what is happening in the world?
Okay, can I ask you a question, my brother? Now that the world, hold on. Now that Nigeria is not there yet, what stops your leaders from looking at those fault lines that they are called out now and begin to make a way to sort it out? Why are they denying that it doesn't exist in the first place? Which is the reason why they will give opportunity for other people to come in. Why are your leaders right now not looking at those fault lines and treating it now before somebody uses it as an advantage to come in?
KJ, you don't understand. If you're asking
that's I'm asking
now,
please,
that means you don't understand. There's a place for theater in power. You see, acting is if you don't know when somebody is acting and when he is meaning. Even when Trump was delivering his messages today, there was, veiled threats, sending to you guys. If you had the mind to decipher, you would have listened, you would have understood. There's a place for theater. So even your presidents too, those that understand power, they are playing in that cat and mouse.
You are not answering my question. My question is simply this.
I'm
You have, no, deal with it. Remove for any foreign list. Deal with the Nigerian situation. Right now, there is fault line that every one of us here knows is existing. Why are your leaders seeing what is going on around the nations of the earth now, not working on those fault lines to deal with it before somebody comes outside to use it?
Sorry, excuse me, KJ, permit me. Sorry, KJ, permit me. Sorry, your question, I don't see the relevance, quite frankly. By the way, you see, you're asking the wrong person the question, right? He's not a Nigerian leader, and what's the drift? What he's talking about? The question you're asking him has no relevance, quite frankly. So, I mean, is he Nigerian leader?
No, thank you very much. What I was even going to ask and say was that the past is irrelevant. Now we are present now. It is the future that we need to look at. And when it comes to about survival, I don't know the way you guys think, but even nature, there is a book that Richard Dawkins wrote that it is called in evolutionary biology, the selfish gene. That is, it's a selfish gene, that succeeds. So if you are not selfish, your gene will not succeed. And the way I'm seeing this move that I am seeing, that is extinction level mind brainwashing that we guys are moving on now. Because the first sentence, okay, let me just finish because you derailed me. So I think our problems, I said it earlier, I said it when we were talking with earlier, that I think we have fifth columnists. Our fifth columnists in Nigeria, they are not foreigners, they are Nigerians. Educated, influential, loud, men and women who echo external interest, using logical pain as cover, people who dress division in language of justice and sabotage the language of reform. They do not see themselves as agents, but the outcomes of their agendas. The outcome of their agendas, you see it. Because what the outcome of what they are doing is, it serves the interests of somebody that is willing to weaken Nigeria. Now that is the way you know who your fifth columnist is, who is doing something that will serve the interest of your enemy.
Okay, thank you.
Let us talk about the United Nations and how useless that place is.
You have already spoken for more than 5 minutes I gave you, and let's just.
All right. You interrupted me anyway. Thank you for letting me talk. I'm ready to try to survive.
Thank you so much. And the question I asked is the same question I'm going to ask you, Tony, while you wave into your ranting. The question I asked is simply this. If we are looking at what is going on now.
Let me go out and bring back the guy that was here before me.
All right, thank you. If we're looking at what is going on now, and we see those fault lines that people are using to invade other countries, they are there in our politics. We know it. We know the injustice going on in our system. We know what is going on in the south and the east. Why is the system, those in charge, not now treating that before they give opportunity to the outsider to say, look, we are coming into your country because so and so is happening? That's what I'm asking, and I don't know why that is irrelevant to Mr. Oti. But however,
it's a quick answer.
It's relevant. Okay, quick answer. The relevance is this. Okay. Now, first of all,
no, it's a quick answer.
It's not a relevant question. Now, because see, look, you see,
Oti, I didn't answer you. Let the Tony.
It's not that it's not relevant. It's a quick answer, if I may.
No. Leave Tony to answer, please. When he gets your time, you can add. It's a normal question. All of us will answer. Take your own shot when he gets to you, and then after that you rant. Please, so go ahead, Tony.
That's a very valid question. Because the world is not fair to anyone, and that's why you have the UN and all these organizations, and conventions and so on to ensure that there's some fairness. But you never have anything that you call fairness because it's relative, depending on which camp you belong to. In international diplomacy, there's something that you call match politique. And what it just simply means is that countries are looking for things that will please their own interests, whether in the short run or in the long run. And a lot of the times, there's no morality in it. So they look at what their interest is, and they're a little bit close to the Machiavellian, policy, So, but to go straight to your question, if you know that you are pursuing certain policies or your alignments are such that will cause enmity, to you, and you know that you don't have such associations that should, if something is happening to you, you don't have countries that will rally around to protect you or to support you, then you're making a big mistake. So I think that Maduro saw this coming. Maduro knew that he had issues with America. And if you listen to Rubio, he was saying that, the opportunities for Maduro to step aside and go somewhere and go and enjoy his loot and so on and so forth. There's no way that he was going to fight America and win. There's no way that Russia or China or Iran is going to come to his aid. And this is not about whether rightness or wrongness or whatever. The world is not fair to anybody. It isn't fair. So if you have a big enemy that is right behind you with a knife, fight. And when you fight, you either win or you lose. This is not about morality. Because there's no morality in politics, international politics. There's no. So that's not justifying, that's not saying whether what Trump did is right or whether it's wrong. But this is the reality of international politics. That's why nations decide to be non-aligned. They don't want this person in trouble. They don't want anybody. They don't want any of such alignment. That's why nations come together, so they can strengthen, their positions, in international community through alliances and all that, and pacts and all that. This is what is happening. And so I don't know. It depends on what camp you're looking at. Some people are demonizing Trump. Some people are. If you're looking strictly at morality, yes, you would say what Trump did is wrong because it means you can just bully. But that's the character of Trump. Even within America, he bullies people. He does anything. I mean, we have seen a situation where he was in a meeting with some European leaders, and he was pushing people away and so on and so forth, pushing leaders out, and because I mean that's not right, but that's the optics. So if you know that you are dealing with quote and unquote, I'm not saying he's a madman, but a person whose character is like that, there's a way you deal with him. That's diplomacy. So for me, Maduro failed in his diplomacy, and this is what he's getting. That's my position. And I think Nigeria has a lot to learn from this. That if you are playing this politics that you're playing, you just don't want to be, get yourself in a situation where, this kind of a thing will happen to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I think I totally agree with your stance. Yeah. We almost have to find a way to divert action from somebody who cannot beat in a straight combat. It's strategy. It's strategy. So yes, stay humble. You have 10 minutes.
Yeah. So do you want me to answer the same?
Your rant, yes.
Sorry, KJ, you can take me to the backstage if there's anybody who wants to come in, so they can come in.
There are plenty behind the backstage.
Sorry, stay humble. Yeah, so take me to the backstage. Let people come in. Yeah.
Thank you. Go ahead, stay humble.
Okay, yes. I think that the antagonism towards Trump by so many people, especially some people from Nigeria, I would say northern part of Nigeria, and some people who are part of the Lagos Ibadan media and their sympathizers, both the ones here and outside. I think, their main concern is that they still want to protect the contraption, the so-called Nigerian project, and they are worried that a Trump intervention, they know that Christians are being massacred in large number. Some Muslims are also being killed, especially in the Northwest, but we know that there is a targeted killing of Christians over the last 2 decades, especially. They know these things, and sometimes they are pained by it. But that overwhelming hatred for a system whereby different, some nationalities in Nigeria, would seek self-determination and start the process of nation building, separately, makes them to oppose rapidly, I will say, because if you've, ever seen someone who is suffering from rabies, you would know what I mean by rapidly. They rapidly oppose Trump. They whatever it is that Trump is doing, they don't like it, especially the intervention in Nigeria. So that I think that's where the guy that spoke before, Tony Boala, is coming from. So he probably might have people who are affected by the terrorism in the north, but because he is afraid that the intervention may directly or indirectly result in some people having their separate nations, so he doesn't want it. Let the killing continue, provided Trump doesn't come in. But it is there, we should not be hypocritical about it. And Venezuela, for example, this Maduro guy who is not the legitimate president and who is wrecking the lives of many Venezuelans. Majority of the people of Venezuela, they are rejoicing. They are happy. They are delighted that Maduro has been removed. Why there are people here who are lamenting? Who are you defending then? You are defending Maduro, the narco guy. So, we can see a lot of hypocrisy here, and it really worries me.
Okay.
But
thank you so much.
We just have integrity.
Thank you. All right. I hope you don't mind if I take you backstage so that I can bring in.
Yeah, you can, please.
Thank you so much.
Stay humble. Your position is much more worrying, I must say.
No. Don't say that.
You can't say that. I think that's not valid.
Oh, come on, Gross. Abba, that's his opinion. Whether you like it or not.
We're against that opinion.
Yeah, he always opposes my opinion.
Okay.
Is a Warren opinion all the same? Is my opinion.
Okay.
Yes. So.
All right. When it gets your turn, you talk about it. Please,
let's away.
You can't speak about integrity, and there is something rather obtuse about a big nation trumping another nation. You can't. That's integrity.
Okay. Yes. Who is the next? Sorry, the system didn't confuse everything. Is it John Abba or Paul? Paul, are you the next?
Give the people that haven't spoken now.
I guess so.
No, it should be actually. You're going this way.
It should be.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Mazo.
No, it should be forefathers.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm supposed to speak before forefather. I'm supposed to speak before forefather, but it's okay. I'm supposed to speak before forefather.
Go now. Is it forefather or Paul? It's Paul. Like me, I thought the sister was telling me, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's Paul. It's Paul.
Maz, it just coming now, isn't it?
No. I've been here from the beginning. But it's okay. Maz can give master. Give Masker. Masker is a newcomer.
Nigeria anyway.
Give Masker.
You can let Masker speak. You can let Masker speak. But if you don't want to speak, I can speak.
Okay, so if Masker speaks, then let us also let our brother speak. Then we all can take our rant. All right, Masker, please speak and take your rant while you do that, so we don't have to come back to you. The next show we ever ran into it, and the forefather is here, so I guess he's also prepared to go to that next show. So the earlier we finish, the better for him.
When you said our brother, are you referring to Mr. Ike?
Yes, I'm referring to Ike.
I would rather defer. Let Ike first go. You know.
No, go ahead. You are in Nigeria. And
let Ike first. Let him speak first. I'll speak after him.
The culture is taking its course. That's a good thing.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mr. Ike.
My brother Masker, thank you. God bless you.
God gave us all.
You would naturally give chase.
KJ, sorry, I just signed in. I don't know what.
Okay, you don't know what's going on. All right.
God.
Right now, let me defer to forefather, because when you finish, all of you will understand what is going on.
No. What I'm trying to say is that are we still talking the topic of Maduro or something else? That's my point.
That's what I'm dealing with. The case of Maduro, we're talking about it and we're ranting and closing so our forefather can come up.
Okay. There is nothing much to say. I was hearing what Tony was saying, but the thing is that I sent message to Dr. Nemesis in the morning. I said that he should help me to tell forefathers, Jide and Ovie, that by now I think they should be in Venezuela, fighting for Maduro. People who come here with their conspiracy theories and talk about international politics. I was expecting that by now Jide and the forefathers and the Ovie and the rest of them are in Venezuela, fighting for Maduro, defending Maduro. Did I talk about Maduro here? The last time I was trying to lecture Jide. I am 45 minutes to Venezuela from my island here. We know what is going on. People are celebrating over here because it's that 25 years coming. The only thing is that my only problem today that they left him alive. My hope today that he would have gone, like as many people that has gone in his hand, right? Every time they say, oh, it's because of oil. That's what they're saying in Nigeria. It's because of oil that Trump is coming in. You that is talking about oil, what have you benefited from the oil? The people of Venezuela. The latest figure of people of Venezuela that are outside Venezuela because of Maduro is 8 million people. Because of this man. Today, the figure is 8 million people who left Venezuela. So I think that what happened today is a sign for your government in Nigeria to understand that a time shall come when people will decide to do certain things that will be bigger than anybody. Who is talking about morality? Who is talking about morality in international politics? This is the right thing for the people of Venezuela. My hope is that the woman who won the last election, that the American government will try to bring her back and put her in the government house, because for 2 elections in Venezuela, Maduro never win election. The same thing the INEC chairman did in Nigeria in 2023 is the same thing the Electoral Commission did for Maduro for two consecutive. The last one that brought this crisis in Venezuela, this woman won up to 65 to 70% of the vote. But at the end of the day, they put Maduro as the president of Venezuela. He's been alone more than 25 years coming. So today is that day that the people of Venezuela should bring a sign of A. Who is talking about maybe this is the way to overthrow government. If somebody decides that he is the only person that qualified to rule the country, so be it. The people that are talking about America is going to take Venezuela oil. The people that have been taking that oil for all these years, Maduro and his cabals and the military, and the people that work with Hugo Chavez, they are the people that are running the country. Few people that are running the country like the way few people are running Nigeria. It's the same cabal that are eating that oil. The Russians and the Chinese, what are they going to do? They can't speak nothing, because if they do anything, America will come after them. They can only talk speak big grammar. Oh, America, you don't have right to do that. It has already been done. You can't change nothing. So those China and my warning is to Iran. You see, this is just a sign for Iran also. Because my hope was last week, my hope was what happened in Venezuela was supposed to take place in Iran. But I didn't know that it was already planned for Venezuela. So I am telling those people who believe that they know more than other people, the people in countries that are suffering, like the way we are suffering in Nigeria, those who carry nationality on their back, on their chest, but at the back, they eat from the same crumb of the criminals and the cabals that are holding Nigeria in captive. So I believe that what happened today is good for the people of Venezuela. But what I am not saying is that the consequences of it is going to spread. Those people who are thinking that nobody can do anything. I don't like Trump, but in a season and a time like this,
Ike, who's going to liberate Americans? Ike, also tell us who's going to liberate Americans as well.
Why are you like this, Oti? Why are you like
Please,
this?
Come on, bro. All right, go ahead.
There is always a free and fair election in America.
Thank you. All right. Let's thank you so much, Mr. Ike. You've really spoken very well. Let's move on. Maska.
All right, thank you, Mr. KJ. Good evening, everybody. Good to see you. I actually
thank you, Maska, for giving me time.
No, Allah, Mr. Ike, no, Allah. Even though I may not agree with all that you said, but what can I say? I said, actually, to be candid and honest with everybody, I am still wrapping my head around what has happened. There's so many angles to it. I won't be able to comment. I joined simply because I want to talk to you guys in 2026 at least and say that it's good that all of us have made it through. And nice to see all of you. But what has happened, I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that, look, this has happened. Even the reaction for me, I'm still struggling to wrap my head around it, but it's okay. I'm sure in the fullness of time, we would come to a point of understanding. Thank you for everybody, and thank you, KJ, for allowing me to speak. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maska. And since we are on this panel, I'm sure that it's not too strange because we talked about this some months ago, and I remember making the statement then that if I wear him, I will find a way to sort myself quickly because anything can happen in these days and times. And irrespective of which world power you have beside you, they are not going to take on each other. That we have seen that many years gone by, and they're not going to do that for you. So you sort yourself out. Thank you, Mr. Forefathers. Forefather, you've been one of those who broke the news, and I'm sure you have a lot to say. So I'm going to...
KJ, it's now my turn, or you want to let me speak?
No,
I won't go chop a bar like Oti.
If Forefather allow you, then we can equally let you speak. But Forefather,
you can check me.
It's his turn even. Let him have it. Since he wants to go and eat. So it's only fair.
Yeah, okay. I don't want to disrespect this day. I don't want to eat. My food is getting cold and I'm hungry.
Okay, go ahead.
You see, my take is just funny. I kind of lost my train of thought with what I want to say. It's just that some people will not grow more than doing arithmetic. You understand? Some people, the word call further mass or hard mass, whichever way we call it, they will never think that. That's why we will just make mention of all this Maduro thing. Yeah, this same Venezuela some 10 years ago, this is the fastest growing economy in the world. Their oil is one of the sweetest oil in the world. Where did things go wrong? Is it a crime for a country to nationalize their own God-given oil? They own this thing. You understand? The multinationals come there and be taking all this thing. If they say, okay, we want to nationalize what we have. Some of you people shame people like me. I'm from Delta State. I hope you understand that good percentage of the oil coming from Nigeria was taken from Delta State. We are talking about one of the biggest, like Shell and the likes. How many people from the South region own oil well in Niger Delta? If not only Cuckoo Bricks and the likes, nobody. Nearly all the oil wells are owned by the Northerners. People from my place complain by the day and every other thing that this is not fair the way the government is doing. If some multinationals come there, they control, they live well and every other thing. Some of you should go to places like Warri and go see share quarter. I could remember back in the days when they give the neighboring villages around, they give their transformer, then the next minute when this power goes off, they say, oh, we don't offer. And shell quarter, all our daughters and some of our young wives, you understand, are technically like prostitutes because if they go there and come back, they're going to feed siblings and family and the likes, and they're taking that oil from that region and everything. And at the time, people protest. Don't give us transformer. Let us use the same lights so that if winch want to offer, make winch off everything and everything. Then guess what? We become radicals. They give us all type of name. Before you know, they started calling peoples all type of name, terrorists, this and that, militant, I mean to say, and the likes, because of their fighting. That's exactly what Venezuela did. Yeah, oil was going well. It was the sanction. If these people are doing very well in their country, do you think they will leave their country and go seek asylum? Do you think these people will walk all the way to Nicaragua and trek 3 months, 90 days to America to come seek asylum? Yeah, I went to Georgia State graduation last year. I like graduation. I go every graduation every year. I see the people from Saudi Arabia, how they graduate, they are going back to their country. I see people from Qatar, people from UAE, Saudi Arabia, they'll bring their fast car in plane, aircraft, fly it to America. You understand? They'll come ride and everything, put that car back, ship car. Some of us can't even ship our granote to Nigeria and go back to their country. Do you know why? Because their country is doing well. Do you know why very many of us, as we are graduating in school, are looking for all means not to go back to get a job here? I'm proud I'm a nurse in America, I'm a soldier in America. Because our country is not working. If our country is working, good percentage of us will come. The Nigerians who come here in the 60s and in the 70s, these are people who can get admission to university in Nigeria. Second option, people who can go to UK. These are the people that stays in America. Where did it go wrong that very many of us are looking for all type of means to the tune of we started blaming ourselves? Oh, Nigeria, they spoil everything. Oh, in Nigeria, they misbehave. Oh, no one make others come. Where did we go wrong? Because our country is not working. If our country is working, I don't think people want to come here and stay with this nasty weather, nasty food, and every other thing. So let us understand these things. So when you blame all this Venezuela, when their country was working, they never left. They were doing well. Not until the sanctions come and everything. And they get to understand that the people who are putting them in this pain, let them go there and go take what rightfully belongs to them. Like the way some of my Nigerian people will say all this nasty thing. They say, oh, you both don't scam us before. So now wait till they collect from us, now we collect back. Very wrong way of saying things and everything. That's just the same type of mindset. Did Venezuela just had a new government that government was going wrong, that make things wrong and everything, that they rig election? But they equally understand that if somebody is bringing some tyranny that they can control, force them, you understand? Just like some 10 years ago, the way they give us Buhari, how they kick Jonathan out, how they give us Buhari, see where Buhari put us today. That's just the same thing. That's why that guy stand there and everything. He may not be the best of person, because if I'm fighting sometimes, I fight too hard. That would be wrong on me. He may not be the best of person, but there's a reason why he does that. The biggest Muslim country in the world, hold on please, the biggest Muslim country in the world is Indonesia. Peter Obi just go study politics there some months back and everything. They're living in peace. Malaysia, they're living in peace. Guess what? Do you know why? Because these people have not visited them. But when you visit them, that's when they start hearing, oh, they do this, oh, they do that, oh, they do this, oh, they do that. Look at Libya. Look at Syria. Look at Iran. Iran did the same thing, nationalized their oil. UK was mad. Iran today, they are going through their pain and everything. But anybody that they didn't visit, and sometimes you say, oh, strategize to find a way to work with these people. You don't work with people who shift the goalposts by the day now. You understand? If you work with people, they shift the goalposts by the day, you can never achieve anything. There's a pastor going on in Nigeria called Chris Okafor. My New Year resolution, I pray for my wife not to see those people. I pray for my daughter not to see him. You understand? Because no matter how smart they can be, this guy can outsmart them. You understand? So that's just the same thing. So when you talk all these things, you should go back and look the history of these people. If they don't visit you, you are in peace. And if they visit you, they will see fault. Because as human beings, we must have our flaws. You understand? So why you say you do like this? Why you say you don't do like this? We see professors in our Nigerian university who proud that 30 years nobody has get nobody. Nobody is a first class student in their department. And this professor is bragging about it. That's the same thing. They shift the goalposts. Thank you.
I've spoken for 6 minutes, which is beyond 2 times beyond the number.
Thank you.
Thank you. For that, please indulge me. Let me give Mr. Igbo Basic, because he's driving. I don't want him to not drive. So, Mr. Igbo Basic, if you can park, we'll give you the opportunity to speak, so you can also go off after you've spoken. Can you hear me? Because right now I see you are driving. If you park now, if you pull aside, I can give you opportunity to speak.
I can hear you. I'll pull over in 1 minute. If anybody is ahead of me, I'll pull over in 1 minute. I'll just say my...
Okay, if Fofana starts talking, he's not going to talk for 1 minute. So I'll take Otis' comment for that 1 minute while you pull off. Please pull over.
That'll be great. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Okay.
So yeah, Kadet, so I'm a 1 minute man. That's what you.
No, not a 1 minute man, but you normally you are very concise.
Is that what your wife said?
No, he didn't say that. Okay. I didn't say that.
Now I know why I want to be
Okay, gentlemen, is what the two gentlemen? I mean, I mentioned names, because I listen to people. Tony is one of my favorite, speakers, because he knows what he's talking about. It's almost in most cases right on point, and occasionally. Is it gentle? Something be gentle or something again? I'm quite disappointed, by the view that advanced tonight. Now, first of all, be gentle. It's talking about Maduro being illegitimate. I mean, I don't know who. Who determines legitimacy? Is it the American administration, Trump, who, so that's one thing, it's kind of making an argument on the basis of that is illegitimate, I mean, it's baseless. Now, Tony, was giving us all sorts of reasons, justifications. Look, those justifications, maybe national interest, security interest, could apply to any, to the relationship between any two countries, okay? Any country can just feel that is in our national interest, is in our security interest to invade another country. Is that what we are advocating? Look, what is happening here is we are unwittingly or unwittingly justifying the principle of might is right. I mean, it can be justified. It can be a standard, a norm that any reasonable person is going to advocate. As a way of conducting be it international politics or even domestic politics. Okay, there are rules of the game, and this is not one of it. This invasion, and then somebody blaming Maduro, he should have done this, done that. It's all nonsense. Okay, he blaming the victim. So it's not in the Americans' place to do that. It's just they did it simply because they have the power, and we cannot by whatever guise be seen to be supporting this kind of practice. It's not helpful for us. We have to think about our own situation. We haven't got the power. There's so many countries in the world that don't have the power. They are defenseless. So, and that's the whole purpose of law, the rule of law. Okay. So I don't know why we can't understand this simple principle, really. I mean, we've gone to school, we read all sorts of books, and then people, but simple basic things, we lose sight of it. And then talk all night. Very disappointed. And now, okay, the Venezuelans are jubilating. Okay, so do we mean all Venezuelans? And for how long is this their, jubilation going to last? Do we know? What happens the day after? We don't know that. Okay, now, it's as I said, it's just now. A recolonization of Venezuela because the government is not performing well, is not Look, that's the same thing. How many so many countries in Africa? So, in other words, we should welcome a recolonization. Is that where is the consistency? If we are talking, we should really know what we're talking about. We should be consistent in our principles, in our understanding, and not all this, kind of here or there. It doesn't make sense, So now we have bad government in Nigeria. Are we saying that we should open our arms and welcome a foreign country to invade Nigeria and take over, and then recolonized? Is that what we are advocating? It doesn't make sense.
I think your point is made. Because you said I'm going to speak for 1 minute. They have spoken for 4 minutes now. Go ahead. All right, thank you.
Look at these issues, okay? It's not about emotion. It's not about liking somebody or not. But look, principles, issues. That's the only thing that can save us, really. We have to be consistent, morally consistent.
I agree with you. But what we are arguing that principle that you have asked us to apply now should apply across board, not pick and choose which one you want to apply the principle or not. Principle should be applied across board. Everywhere that comes up, the same thing should be applied. Not that.
By the way, this question about asking the question, our leaders should do this. Look, yes, if a country, that's why you are sovereign. Sovereignty belongs to the people. If a country is not doing well, the government is abusing, maltreating. It's up to the people. It's their responsibility to overthrow the government. So, it's not a foreign country unless. Of course, there's a limit. Okay, there's a scale of abuse, that a government can be perpetrating against its people, and then it becomes a matter of an international, it's called responsibility to protect. But I don't know what's happening in Venezuela. I don't know the details.
Let's say that hold on, Oti. I don't want to interrogate
make it simple and make it.
If I need to interrogate it. Okay. When they introduced the COVID-19 vaccine, you didn't come to debate that your country was a sovereign country and you're going to decide whether you take it or not. You all accepted it, even though you didn't even ask your people. So let us know. Hold on.
No. See, listen, the mistake is sovereignty. You have to hold on. When you are comparing two situations, there has to be the basis for comparison. They're not too, So
you see,
it's a choice. Okay,
we're talking about sovereignty. Sovereignty then doesn't have to.
It wasn't forced on Nigeria, was it?
Oh, it wasn't.
Was it forced on Nigeria to buy whatever vaccine or whatever?
Okay, that debate for another day. Let's move on. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right, Mr. Igbo Basics, you are here now. We need to hear you so that you can continue your this thing. You are going somewhere before. Go ahead, sir. What's your opinion? You've heard us and you have what will be your rant, because you're going to speak for just once.
All right, let me go ahead and rant. I have listened to the conversations, Venezuela or no Venezuela. Me, I come from Nigeria. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to piggyback on Paul's commentaries. As far as if to say country good, a lot of us will not be here. And Paul made reference to some of us who came here in the 70s and some who came in the 60s. I came in the 70s. There was a time that if you come to New York, you would probably take your naira to any exchange place right at the airport, and they would gladly accept that naira from you. That was the same time because I bought dollar for 42 cents to a naira, 42 kobo to a naira. That's what I used in buying. It's still stamped on my passport of Malamilia, the big thick passport. If you put your house in order, somebody else will put it in order for you.
Very simple.
One way or the other. Yeah. Forget about we went through the war. Forget about everything else that happened. Nigeria was a shining example when Americans lined up on the streets of America to welcome Abubakar Tafawa. Is that Abubakar Tafawa, the man who was then the Prime Minister of Nigeria?
Yes.
Americans lined up just to go and see that man speak. That was a Nigerian. We stood tall, and the war ended. The war came, and we had so much money. We invited the world to come and do first Black African World Festival of Arts and Culture. And we built stadiums, and we built everything. Nigeria has so much money that it could buy half of Manhattan. Why did we not buy Manhattan? As an investment. And then we've been through all these experiments of the republic we have. And then we saw it sliding. And for the leaders, they kept on tipping, and putting it all abroad. And then Jonathan came. The subsequent administration, they've done their own part. One word, gender, corrupt or not corrupt, they were doing their part. But let me put it this way. When some of us graduated in like 1981, we were ready to go home. We were so proud of going home that we didn't want to hear nothing about anything. I went home. I spent 10 years on the ground and then came back out. Because it's either you are crooked, or I'm not saying that everybody's crooked. It's either you join them or you bail out. But if you come with your American mentality, we've come to change this place, you have another thing coming for you. So, fast forward to where we are now, and we have Emiloko. It's my turn. Who told you the Americans would go out to observing when such things were perpetrated? They were there. They were observing. They knew everything about the man. The man went in. Now, we keep talking. In our time, Alonso Bondo, Papa, teaching French in Nigeria. Okay? Everybody was trying to suckle and milk the same place called Nigeria. We were so proud learning French language. But now we see what has happened across the board. The French have been chased out wherever they are around. But they are not satisfied because they still want a part of their pie. And how do they want to do it? Through Nigeria. Then our president will run to France each and every time and go there. And we wonder where the man did. Okay? So it's still Alonso Bondo, La Patria. But this time around, we're talking about what's going on in Venezuela. Let me just put it this way, because if I start ranting, I will rant and rant and rant. Let us call ourselves to order. Let us call our leaders to order. The mistakes that have been made in the past have been made. If they stole all our money and invested it back at home, a lot of us will not be here. We will be back home where you can chop better fresh okra or better fresh. Even when you chop suya for that place, you will not send a suya where you chop. Forget about everything else that is going on. The bottom line is that if our people who have governed us for quite some time now have done the right thing, a lot of you talking here will not be here talking. You will be home doing the right thing. Okay? But
okay.
This is where we find ourselves. I'll wrap up by saying, when there is an earthquake coming, you will see animals running to the higher ground. You think that is stupid? They're not stupid. So in the case of Nigeria, I'm not even talking about Venezuela. I'm not from Venezuela. Whatever happens anywhere can happen anywhere. Russians went to the moon, and by the time they started coming back, they couldn't come back in. They were hung in the air. Negotiations were being made, where can they land? So for those who have eyes, let them see. Observe what is happening in Nigeria.
Thank you.
The Maradonas of Nigerian politics, if you watch them, some of them have investments to safer ground. They are not stupid. Some of them have some lucrative things they can accept and then enjoy. But they shook their head and they are moving their words to the places like America or any other place. Because what is coming we pretend we are not serious. So for me, I beg, if you want go finish Abia State, where I come from, I beg make you leave Abia State alone, so that when I can be able to at least retire in peace and go back to the bush.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I came to just say hello to all our friends because this is the beginning of the year.
Yes, it's a very long hello because I've spoken for almost 10 minutes now.
It's only 1 minute for the rant. I pray that God will grant us health and everything else good for this
Amen.
year.
Amen.
In the name of Pasidnelu.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for giving me the chance.
Thank you. I want to let you know that Governor Oti has introduced social security for Abia people. So once you are above this age of 60, you can register and be given free medical treatment and stipends at the end of every month for your upkeep, as long as you are an Abia citizen. So Oti, I'm sorry it will not be introduced in Anambra State, and you may not be able to enjoy that, but we will invite you when we collect it, so you can come and break color with us. Let me go ahead. Sorry guys, I don't.
Thank God, my ex-girlfriend from your state.
Please. I don't know how.
Let's just go block the Niger Bridge.
Let's just go from. I'm trying to. Okay, you know what I'll do? Why don't you take over the broadcast so you can, if you know that your time is not being spent, then you can switch from there to, when you are just done with it. Because I'm trying to end it, but more people are coming up, and they have so much to talk about. So your time is being taken up, and it's not going to end. So why don't you take over?
No, it's okay. Just go through them. Then when he finishes, isn't it? Just leave it. I think it's fine.
But let it be brief now. Everybody's talking 10 minutes. It's too much, man.
No, okay, forefathers. The experience we've had in the past is that once you switch to your channel, a lot of people drop off. They're not coming back. So it is my humble opinion that if you consider what KJ has just said,